you got to put your foot down. So like me and N.O.R.E, I never talked about this publicly. Me and him had this weird, we were friends. He was doing Vlad TV a lot. And then when he got Drink Champs, he asked me to do the show. I said, sure, but I said, I'm not going to drink. And he got upset about that. Oh, but that's the format, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. There was a back and forth, and we stopped talking to each other for a while. And then I circled back with him maybe a couple of years ago, and I'm like, listen, you know something? My bad. I know this is your format. You've done my shit times. I'm going to fly myself to Miami. I'm going to get my own hotel, my own. It's a 3-hour interview. It was one of the big, I think got like 2 million views on his YouTube channel. And, we kind of got back into our friendship. I considered him an actual friend. A year passed, I said, hey, what do you think about doing Vlad TV? He's like, yeah, man, I got you. All right, cool. So I go to Miami, run around. He'd be in LA. I tried to hit him. He wouldn't respond. Oh, my bad. I was doing this media run with like Tony Yayo and them, and like do like a bunch of smaller, doing a bunch of small podcasts. And I was like, man, this, bro, this dude. And me and him, we got into a big back and forth. Yeah. And it was like, he was like, call me the N-word. I know you want to. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I got more black kids than you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the best you got. He goes, oh, you racist. You don't own me. I said, we don't own each other. I did your show. I flew out, did your on my own dime. I'm already in your city. I'm just asking you to show up. You told me you would do it, and now you give me that around. So anyone doing N.O.R.E show, just know that when it comes to return the favor, he's not going to do it. Yeah. Start charging N.O.R.E to do champs from now on. Because know that when it comes, in return, he's going to screw you. N.O.R.E's about N.O.R.E. His word don't mean he's a snake. That's the way I look at it. I don't
address this real quick. I didn't want to address this in front of y'all, but I will. I will. Vlad TV, I don't front on everybody. I fronted on you. Mm-hmm. I did to you what you do to our culture. I bend you over and I yell at me. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? I was going to do your interview.
And you flaked on him.
Guess what? I'm a grown man. I have a right to change my mind.
Facts.
Right.
And y'all are just too smart. He's too sharp right now.
Yeah.
And I start to see how shit is changing. I start to see how you actually put Rick Ross. You actually try to put Rick Ross in jail. Mm. That in my world, you're a rat.
Yeah.
Mm. You're told.
Yeah.
You benefit off of black drama.
You do.
Mm. You are Jerry Springer. Mm. Now. He was like, yo, guys, charge him because he's not going to do your interview. No, I'm not doing yours. I don't like you. So guess what? I played the game that you've been playing for years. Welcome to the party. Mm.
Make some
noise. Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV. UPTV, make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as N.O.R.E decided to finally respond to what DJ Sad Vlad has said almost 2 weeks ago now during his appearance on DJ Academic's podcast, Off the Record, where he called N.O.R.E a snake, told other people in the game, hey, if you go to Drink Champs, make sure you charge N.O.R.E. He's a liar. He not going to come do your show. But it was crazy to me at that time because I was like, I clearly remember N.O.R.E probably doing like 15 other people podcasts or just different people that he rocked with. And I most definitely said at that time, if you seen it, nah, Vlad, he clearly just ain't rocking with you. But I had a link in the description where you can watch the clips at the beginning in full from Drink Champs and Off the Record clips because of its several layers to this. Now let's break them all down. And he called out other people in this little rant right here as well when you watch that clip in full, Pierce Morgan, Angela Yee, and it's really like when it come down to the come down, oh, N.O.R.E don't want to do my interview, well, whoop-de-doo, boo-hoo. Get him a big box of XL Charmin tissue to wipe his eyes and wipe his nose and grow up. You're 53 years old. Shout out to my supporters as well. I most definitely saw it, but I want to cover other things first. I got y'all tags, I got y'all DMs, I got y'all requests. And don't worry, I got y'all covered like makeup when it comes to this type of stuff. Because first, what Noriega is saying is most definitely his right as a man. I don't got to come do your show if I don't want to. I don't care if I did 1,000 other people. Now, I can't be all the way direct and straightforward with you instead of telling you a straight up no. I can't do that instead of like giving you the runaround about it. No doubt about it. It is better and more respectful to be direct and clear with somebody. But Sad Vlad has a thing in the past where he's acted like people owed him, like people had to do stuff for them, even if he had done their show or not. The list goes on and on of people he did this with. G Herbo, he did this with Shannon Sharp. He did this with Tyrese. He did this with Bill Cosby. He did this with Marlon Wayans. You don't want to do his show. You try not to, like, basically, hey, fam, I really ain't feeling it. Don't want to pull up. He'll get on the internet and get the dog in your eye, talking about you, calling y'all out your name and things because he can't have his way up in the game. But when it comes to Noriega, I got to keep it 100. N.O.R.E, you brought him on your show a few years back on Drink Champs, right? Now, Vlad said right here in the beginning that y'all fell out because you didn't want to come on his show. He didn't want to come on your show and do the drinking. He didn't want to go with your style of show. But years ago, I also remember Noriega made a comment publicly, hey, Vlad, I don't like what you said about Minister Farrakhan. You dogged out Minister Farrakhan. I can't rock with you no more. Take all of my interviews down. You're disrespecting the black community. A little bit after that, him and Vlad was back cool. He sat down with him and didn't even question or pressure Vlad about the disrespectful stuff he did with Minister Farrakhan, where he intentionally put up an out-of-context clip because he felt the way about some things that Minister Farrakhan had said. I don't understand why people thought that that was a mistake. He refused to apologize. Gate kept his respect and then came back years later and went on to Willie D's podcast and finally gave a response. But he went to several shows after that and then acted like the Minister Farrakhan stuff never happened. It just was whatever. And then he finally came and apologized on Willie D's show. But by that time, to me, the disrespect had been overdone because you was telling people you don't want to talk about it. But that was the reason that people was falling out with you with things. So when Noriega brought it back on there and didn't ask him about it, I said, oh, he told him, I don't want to talk about this, N.O.R.E. And N.O.R.E. was with it. N.O.R.E, you knew who he was back then, the Rick Ross stuff. So I've never told anybody not to work with Sad Vlad. I've never told nobody that you can't be cool with Sad Vlad. All I say is don't defend him disrespecting our people. Don't defend him gaslighting and jumping out of pocket and out of line with the disrespect because people don't want to come do his show. That's all I be saying. He act like he entitled to our culture. We owe him something. Oh, what's the other girl name? Sweetie. She didn't come through and do his show. As soon as he saw opportunity, he got the dog and her out. I'm like, bro, I don't like that type of stuff. Because of the simple fact, you don't look at yourself as one of us. You are 53 years old, you out of pocket, you out of touch, and let's be clear here. People don't want to come over there at times and get your line of questioning and the type of stuff you do. You is an agent for the capital C's. Controversy, chaos, confusion, conflict, and confrontation to be a part of the conversation and keep the algorithm in rotation, and we added crashing out to that situation. No matter how you slice the pie. They got all these type of dudes who do stuff like what Vlad do, and at the end of the day, it's all about money and views with him. He doesn't have any real, just organic friends that he talks to and things of that nature. All of your friends and people you deal with is dudes that you interview on your show. If we keep it all the way 100, that's why when you fall out with one of the people on your show, they not your friend no more because they wasn't your friend in real life. Y'all are just friends because you can make money with them. It is what it is. So N.O.R.E don't have to go do your show if he don't want to, but I got to tell N.O.R.E the truth. You was over there with him. You was down with it. It is what it is. You say, I guess you woke up now and seen the light, but to each his own if you want to go work and do business with somebody, but I'm not finna act like he's some genuine dude that just respects everybody and we got to work with him or we owe it to him as a culture to go deal with him. The choice is yours, but ain't nobody finna dictate and tell us and talk to us like they entitled or they entitled or they superior to us as a people. Cause we is all you talk about. Let's keep it at 100. Us, the black people from this culture. Stay on your pivot. More coming.